last week's video, I spoke about how to buy other companies, how to use your cash flow and your profits to create assets to increase your wealth. One of the questions that I got in response to that video was in regards to buying other websites. Somebody has interest in buying other businesses, buying other websites, and wanted to know what are some of the characteristics to look for if you want to know if a website, if an online business is worth buying. I thought that was a great question. And so in today's video, I'm going to go through a checklist that you can use to decide if a website or a business is worth buying and putting your money into. All right, let's get started. So let's imagine you found a website, you found an online business that you have interest in. The first thing I want you to do is to get the numbers. I believe in buying cash flowing businesses. This is why I don't like angel investing. Angel investing is a shot in the dark, basically. What you're doing is you're putting your money into a bunch of different companies that don't have profits yet, that are most likely just burning cash and burning cash. And the idea is that if you take enough bets, one of those bets is going to pay off big. And this is how the angel investing market works, basically. All of your returns are generated from like a small portion of the bets that you made. And so if you never get that big payout, you're in a lot of trouble. It's a good business model. People make a lot of money angel investing, obviously, but I much rather prefer buying businesses that I know are going to generate additional profits so that I continue to use those profits to buy more assets, just like we talked about last video. So with that being said, the first thing that I want you to look at is, does this business already cash flow? It doesn't have to cash flow a lot, but I like looking at websites and looking at online businesses that I know are already established in their process. Are they making money each month? What are the expenses compared to the revenues? And if they have even a little bit of profits each month, that means that it's something that I'm going to take seriously, because I believe I can apply my skills and my current system to increase that profitability. And so I want to buy companies that I know are already in a position to make money and then apply my system so that I can increase the scalability of those profits. So the first thing I want you to do is to look at the numbers. Is it cash flowing? Is it profitable? I do not mostly invest in companies that are burning cash. I like investing in companies that are already profitable. The second thing I want you to look at is I want you to identify if this particular business has a moat. Is there any protection that is protecting this business? If it's a fad, then I'm not going to buy the company or buy equity in the company. It's not to say, again, that you can't find ways to make money in trends. It's not to say that you can't find ways to capitalize in an emerging trend that is going to build a great business over the course of the next couple years and then maybe fizzle out. You can definitely do that. But I like investing in companies and buying companies that I know are going to be around for a long time. I like to buy it and then set it on rinse and repeat and not think about it. And so what does this mean? This means that I like to ask myself some questions. Is this particular business a necessity? Does this particular business already have customers that are delighted? And will they continue to be delighted for a long time? I also like to look at the distribution. One of the ways to figure out if an online business is protected is to see if they have their own distribution. So if a company is completely dependent on advertising to make their sales, I'm probably not interested. Advertising can be very fickle. It will work great one day, and then the next day, for whatever reason, there's a plethora of things that can go wrong. Suddenly your revenues crash out and you have nothing to fall back on if your advertising dollars stop working. So does this company have an email list? If they do, how many subscribers and how engaged are the subscribers in the email list? Does this company rank really well on social media? Or excuse me, do they rank really well with SEO? What keywords do they have? What is the competition for some of those keywords? And will this website be able to keep their rankings for a long time? Does this company have a social media presence? If so, what's the engagement look like? Do those social media followers actually participate and spend money? Or is it just an attention arbitrage machine that collects likes and collects shares and gets a lot of buzz, but doesn't actually generate a lot of income. Those are the only two criteria that you really need to focus on. This is what I focus on. I focus on cash flow and I focus on distribution. If an online company has those two things, I feel like I have increased my probability to spend money on an asset that is going to continuously generate cash flows into the future and well beyond for years and years. That's how I like to build my portfolio, because like we talked about last week, I'm interested in collecting assets. So to finish this video, I want to give you a couple pointers on how you can actually go about doing research to find some of these opportunities. Unfortunately, there's no productivity hack for this part of the process. In my opinion, this is the part that separates the successful people from the people that continuously flop and maybe wish that they could generate wealth somehow, but that's just not for them, right? So the way to find opportunities is just to get out there and network. The more conversations you have, the more opportunities you will find. There's no CRM that I use. There's no software that I use that can make inquiries for me. Maybe some people have a kind of software that they created for this exact reason. Even if they did, I would never use it, because my advantage has always been that I'm just really willing to have conversations with people. I'm really willing to get out there and see what people are working on and see what kind of opportunities there are. For me personally, I've always used Twitter. Twitter, in my opinion, is the best networking tool there is, because let's call it the personality of the platform allows for like open, uninvited conversation. If I send somebody a DM on Twitter, as long as it's not, completely cold and random and out there and spam me, it's really, really likely that somebody is going to reply to me. With that being said, people are more than willing and it's encouraged on the platform to share what you're working on. So I can easily keep track of some of the projects that are out there that have piqued my interest, and I can keep track of the founders that are working on these particular projects. So the answer or the solution to finding opportunities is most likely not what most people are hoping for. There's never been some kind of easy, foolproof method or a checklist that you can follow. You just have to get out there and have conversations. I even like what Cody Sanchez says in one of her videos, where she likes buying local brick and mortar businesses, where she'll just go to the business and knock on the door and just ask to speak to the business owner and ask them questions about their business, what they're working on, what some of their goals are. Nothing bad can happen from having a conversation. The worst thing that's going to happen is somebody's going to say, I'm not interested. In which case, you can most likely still be friends and find ways to add value into each other's lives. And maybe that conversation will lead to a referral for an even better opportunity. You have to get out there. You really do. You have to get in front of people. And if you do it enough times, the law of averages basically insists that an opportunity is going to come your way. And when that opportunity does, be sure to filter that opportunity through the criteria that I just gave you, which is it cash flowing? 2, does it have distribution and protection into the future? It's a simple process. I've used this process over and over again for the last 10 years as I've slowly been adding online assets into my business portfolio. It's worked for me. I'm sure there's other ways to do it, but I feel this is the most simple process that is the most risk averse that can help you generate passive income in your own life. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave a comment. Please smash that subscribe button. Give me a like. It's the best thing you can do to support my show. Talk to you next week.